Hey everybody, welcome. This is my Rocket Ornament instruction video. It's a great lesson to learn a bunch of different skills in this program. The first one being that you're starting off with something that's a cross section, something like this, to make it revolve around an axis and get 3D objects that way. And you can see it's shelled out. There's a bunch of different little things that you learn in doing something like this. So here we go. If you're in Onshape, here, create Part Studio. If you're in Fusion, just create a new component. I'm going to draw on the vertical front plane, regardless of your software. Draw a vertical line up from the middle point here. Go up. When you click on this particular program, as soon as you see a white box, it allows you to just type in the number 82. It doesn't have to be exactly 82, but just giving you the specific numbers that I used before. Started off with then a line, and I went here, over this way, click, get a 6.5. Again, that's just kind of a random number, but actually just come up at an angle with this line. That's going to be temporary. We're going to replace that with an arc in a minute. And we're going to take an arc from this menu. Make sure you choose the right arcs whenever you're dealing with arcs. You're following along. I'm just using the first one, which is 3 point, where you click an end point, and then you pull like so. If you want to get fancy and match my exact measurements, you can click the D on the keyboard to launch the dimension tool, or click up here and then do this and that. See, that was pretty close to what I had already had. 18 was my exact measurement of design. And then, like I said a second ago, you're going to click on this and delete it. I want to get rid of it. And I want you to use a 3-point arc here, here, and here. It looks better and then helps with the next step. Well, a couple of steps. Revolve. First thing that you're going to do is click the shape, or what's called the face of the sketch. And then whenever you see a red box in a menu system like this, you're going to click it and then select whatever they're telling you to select. So that's how a revolve works. And then hopefully, I had a couple of hiccups doing this. You're going to shell it out, click shell, and then spin it so you can click that bottom. That worked perfectly. Part of what I needed was to have a round to make that work. 2.5 millimeters is fine. And we're actually looking at is a hollowed out rocket. Next step, there's a couple of different things you can do. One of the things I need to point out is that you can change the visibility here to translucent and start to see through things, and that allows you to draw like here, sketch, and if we want to make a wing, a fin, which is what you're going to do next, you're going to draw something that looks like one of the pictures that I shared with you, a shape that looks something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can try and match mine, and I'm just using splines to do that for the most part. And you're just going to draw one, because then we're going to make a mirroring of it. So you can sort of pull and play with a type of fin style. I'll come back, because what you're going to have to do is complete this shape. You don't really want to use a spline for it. Hit escape and then use a straight line to connect the two endpoints of that shape. You'll see it'll turn gray. You can also, now at this point, if you have escape and the white arrow selected, you can grab this shape and you can sculpt using the points, using the lines, however you want. You're going to put a line, just has to be anywhere in the middle, something like that. Hit escape to finish it, because you're going to use that to mirror, which is this tool here, mirror. You're going to select the mirror line, and then the objects you're going to mirror, which is the spline and that. And boom, you're done with your fin sketch. What you'll do is extrude, click these two shapes, and then choose symmetric, and a measurement like 3 millimeters. If you click away from this, it gives you the preview. I think 3, that's right, 1 and 5. Or more. And go back to the previous view, shaded. It'll give you a better idea if you like it or not. all these things are easy to modify. You can just hit extrude, or right click on it, edit, and you can change it to maybe 6 if that looks better, or 8 if that looks better. It's entirely up to you. The big chunky fins actually look pretty cool. So anyway, another neat thing to know is if you're drawing, like we're going to draw now these things in the middle, and we're going to cut out holes and then build a, this is an ornament style, so we're putting a little ornament ring on there. So that looks like a sketch on the front plane. Go like this. And a neat thing to see is this, you can change the visibility, and oftentimes I like section view better. If you click section view and then you click the plane that's going through something, it'll split it so you can see the inside of it. And then in that case you can just draw like 3 circles like so in this program. Click, type 10, enter, we can move them into place later. You can just click in the center again, click when you see the white box, type 10, same thing down here, click 10. And then what you do is you just hit escape, so it goes from the create to move control. Play around with your positioning. So, and we can do the next part drawing while we're in here, because it just makes the most sense to do that. You can take an arc, 3-point arc tool, and start building a hanger just by going through the middle, kind of down the center like this, and then bending an arc out. And you're going to have to control this a little bit in a couple of ways in a second here. You click offset. You can pull that back down until it's about the size that you want. Click the green check mark, or the left mouse button, which is where the green check mark was there. Hit enter. And then you have to just close the shape with a couple of little line segments. And you'll see it'll turn gray. So if we finish that sketch, I'll tilt this a little bit so you can see what's going on. I'm going to go back over here and turn off the section view so you can see what it all looks like. If I hit extrude, ooh, this didn't do what it did before. I'm going to leave my section view on. Wait a minute. The sketch visibility controls changed, so I'm going to go back to shaded with edges and then translucent, just so we can guarantee we're not going to have any issues here. I'm going to go extrude, I'm going to click remove, and hopefully, no, see, it's giving me selection problems, which I don't like. Actually, what you could do is click this to select everything, and then click in that to deselect it. That's the real-time solution that I would use for whatever reason I'm having a little glitch here. These should be blue and easier to see, but what you're doing is you're clicking symmetric and you're pulling in both directions all the way outward. So it's you're pulling a remove command in both directions. So you just pull that arrow to get it to go all the way through, and you'll see it'll punch all the way through the ornament. And then you can turn the sketch back on that we just had that little clippy in this time, because it's not inside of something, it won't be a problem to grab it. But you're going to go extrude and then symmetric again. It's a little tricky to see in that direction, but you're just going to make this like 4 millimeters thick. And you can see if you go back into your regular view, shaded with edges, you've got that. You can click this sketch visibility control and right click, edit the appearance, and give this a cool color, as well as hiding this before you capture a photo. I can, again with the thing with the fins I don't really love on this one. You can always go back, highlight, right click, edit the sketch, and change it. And it'll change both of them together, so you can sculpt and play with it, come up with something you prefer. And it'll auto update when you're done. A lot of good training, good practice. Good luck. See you soon.